Welcome to Podcast of All Podcasts. Enjoy best moments of podcast history.
Please donate if you can. Enjoy. Flogging Molly. Salty Dog.
To light and blue, there's nothing more a man could do. Don't get your bollocks in a twist. Settle down, don't take a fit. You drank a demon straight from hell. You almost nearly won as well. You wiped the floor with victory. Then puked until you fell asleep. Like it was the Banshees, well, these boots will never fill a jail. You crawl into an empty boat. Found a go from Mexico, but Curtis came and so did you. From the ashes, Jordan blue, smelling like a salty dog. Back from hell where you belong. Around your neck to watch you dance to jig at that and left you for the starboard cross. Hovering like hungry horse, you fell down, put down your eye. The other he had in a sight, you snarled him, so leave him be. I need the bugger so I can see.
Whitney Cummings with Dave Grohl.
Have some water.
Yeah.
Cottonmouth. Yuck.
Banana.
I have lots of questions for you.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me? I'm just kidding. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
No. Let me get my own fucking podcast, and I'll ask you a question.
You should.
I should.
That'd be amazing. You could have a cooking barbecue pod.
Yeah, I just try to sort of hide from the world a lot.
So is social media your nightmare?
Well, I understand it's it could be useful when you want people to know stuff.
Correct.
So, like, if we make a song,
Yep.
then if we put it on there, then people will know we have a new song. I don't necessarily feel the need to tell everyone when I'm
What you're having for
taking a
breakfast?
shit or whatever. So, but I get it. I understand why people would. But it's not really my thing.
Do you let your daughters on it?
They are on it, yeah.
And then what was the logic? Like, when did you decide they were ready? I'm terrified of being a parent for this exact thing.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's. I think everybody kind of finds their way in doing all of that kind of stuff. Has a lot to do with their friends. Has a lot to do with what they're interested in. It usually begins with a project. I'm going to do a project. Can I get an Instagram account? Because I want to do a project with horses. I'm going to have my own horse YouTube channel. It's like shit like this.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then you wind up in front of a mirror with a thong. I think is what happens. I don't know. So, yeah.
I mean, it is it, but YouTube, do you have to control what is watched on YouTube by your kids?
Yes. You have to pay attention. You also, you know, it's just so different now. I mean, like when I was a kid growing up in Virginia, like I was listening to satanic death metal.
Correct.
And my nice public school teacher mom was just like, honey, could you turn it down a little bit? So, you know, I wasn't like running around town stealing stereos and smoking crack or whatever, but
I was doing that.
I bet. In Georgetown.
In Georgetown.
Yeah.
Rough streets of Georgetown.
Oh, my God, it's
Georgetown
insane.
is fancy as shit now. Georgetown used to be cool. You walk down now, it's Restoration Hardware. Yeah. There's a J. Crew on every corner.
Oh, my God, 14th Street. Well, you know what's funny is I was there this weekend, and at one point I went and did this thing, the City Lab thing, and then after that we were all like, yeah, let's go to lunch. So we went to Jose Andres' place. Mm-hmm. I think it's called Jaleo or Jaleo, something like that. Anyway, it's on 7th and E. Uh-huh. And 7th and E is where the old DC Space used to be. DC Space was the old archive. And we were standing outside the restaurant. I didn't even realize where we were. And I looked, I'm like, 7th and E? Wait a second, this is where DC Space. And I looked, and it became a Starbucks.
Oh, God.
I know.
It hurts my heart.
Isn't it hard?
It hurts my heart too much.
And 14th Street's bananas.
Yeah, no, it's fancy. There's lots of like bistros, like Parisian bistros. It really stressed me out.
I went there, Le Diplomat.
Yeah, that's right. That's where I went last time.
I was
That's
just there on
fancy
Friday night.
Place.
Super fancy.
It hurts my heart a little bit because you used to be able to say like I'm from DC and people are like, oh yeah, that's badass, and now they're like, cool. So you love Banana Republic.
It's changed a lot.
It's very preppy now.
Actually, the old 930 Club, I think, became a J. Crew.
Oh, that makes me
It's right there. Go to 9th
ill.
and F.
That makes
go to
me
9th.
apoplectic.
So 1 over 9th.
Let's burn
go
it down.
To F Street.
Burn it down. I love you, J. Crew, but
9th
come on.
and F. Hold on.
You can't do that.
Go a little bit more over, middle of the block. Anthropology.
Oh.
Or no.
They sell denim jackets
J. Crew, there
with
it is.
birds on them.
That's
now.
it. That right there. That's the old 930 Club.
How has anyone allowed this to happen? DC lost its fucking edge.
I know.
God damn it. That is heartbreaking.
That's sad.
That's really...
I think that was the hallway that went back to the club.
I made a lot of mistakes on that property.
I did. You know how many blowjobs I gave right there?
Gave?
Yeah.
Gave?
Oh, my God.
You?
I had to get in.
Plot twist.
I had no money. Come on.
Plot twist. That... I met you and I first kind of, I feel like, became friends. There's something about it's oat milk. You're drinking oat milk. Is it a bummer?
It's not milk, but no, it's delicious.
Not milk.
Yeah,
that should be their tagline. Not
stuff.
milk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I find oat milk's a little whatever. This is very
I can't
LA,
believe
guys.
it's not
Sorry.
milk.
I feel like when we first met, when I meet someone from DC, I feel like they're like instant family for some reason.
For sure.
Right? We
Yeah.
instantly started talking about The Wiz.
Yeah. The Wiz. Oh my God.
I have a question about this. The Wiz had a guy. Music stores used to have a guy that if you heard a song on the radio and didn't know who sang it, because it used to be they play a couple songs and you have to wait for the DJ to tell you who it was, right? So if you heard a song a bunch of times, you'd go into whatever Tower, you'd go into Amoeba, I would go into The Wiz, and you'd have to sing it for them. Are there guys out there right now that are the guys that any idiot could go in and like hum a song to and could say, I know who that is, and find the record?
Whoa, in a record store?
We use Shazam
good luck
now.
finding one of those. I mean, yeah, if you go to Amoeba.
Yeah. And you're just like,
To one of like the Amoeba nerds or whatever.
Yeah, you'd have to do that. And
they'd
they'd
be
go,
like, oh, that's fucking, it sucks. Whatever.
Excuse me as I butchered Dave Grohl's music.
Sorry.
But that's what we had to do. And we would go to The Wiz, and there was a guy that you could shittily hum any song, and he could tell you who it was.
Yeah. The Wiz, I feel like there was one in Shirlington too, but I don't know.
Joe's?
I can't
There's a
remember.
place called Joe's Music Paradise or something.
Well, we always went to Kemp Mill.
Oh, I remember Kemp Mill.
We had a Kemp Mill, and then I worked at Tower downtown.
That's right. I think I knew that.
And that's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, record stores were so much fun. Not long ago, I took my daughter Violet, because she's starting to get into punk rock. Mm-hmm. It's funny. She's trying to turn me on to the Misfits now. Because I was never a Misfits guy.
That's amazing.
And so she's like, Dad, come on, it's cool. I'm like, okay. But I took her to like a punk rock record store on Melrose. And it's like she knows what to do, but she was just like, she was blushing. She was so psyched to be in a record store.
When you walk into a record store, is it just chaos?
No,
They don't go nuts?
No, they hum me songs, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the Misfits or whatever. No, it's fine. Like, people, well, of course not. Like, if you work at a record store, the last thing you want to do is recognize a musician.
Yeah.
Oh,
so they try to play it cool.
Kind of. It's fine.
Yeah.
But watching her in a record store, it was so fucking cool. And I was trying to like tell her like, oh, this band's cool. Let's try this band, and she doesn't want any of that.
Bad
shit.
brains.
Exactly.
Bad brains.
Yeah, she doesn't. But it's I feel like Amoeba's gonna close.
Ugh, that's gonna be a dark day.
There's a couple good ones on Ventura Boulevard, too.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. There's one that's near... Have you been to Cece's?
No, I just moved here.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I'm hooking you up.
Let's go.
I'm telling you, there's so... You're in the thick of it right here.
See, I'm worried because I feel like it is so hard to discover cool new music now because the algorithm culture. It's like I literally, when I go on like a news website and I'm next to someone on the same news website, we get different news based on what we've Googled, right?
Right.
So our algorithm is changing the kind of things that we learn and accidentally stumble upon. And when I go on like Spotify, I don't even know. They decide.
You know what's funny?
What?
After... it was either after Sound City, the documentary I made, or the Sonic Highways series that I did for HBO. But I was I was like, I'm going to start my own music network channel. And I spazzed and was like, I started meeting with people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want a channel. Like, I want to start my own MTV, like an entire 24-hour channel of just music, and programming. So I was talking to a bunch of people about doing it until finally someone was like, do you really want to be a TV executive? I was like, oh yeah, fuck that. So, but one of the things that I loved about the idea, which is kind of, I don't know if there's one now, just on television, is that you're right. Basically, when people are searching for something, they usually only find what they're looking for or something similar.
Right.
Rather than just sort of like sitting down and have someone else curate a playlist or an experience for them. And that's where I feel like that's where real discovery happens. So if there was something where there was a half an hour show that was about rap music,
right.
and then there was a half an hour show that was about rock music, and then so that, you would almost just like turn it on and leave it on so that, and I don't mean to watch television all day long, but to curate an experience that's more diverse than having someone just search what they're looking for and then have it based on the algorithms, which I don't even know what that word means.
Well, it basically means you get more of the thing you already Googled.
Yeah,
and
I'm kidding.
You get more,
I actually know what that word means.
I just mean, like, I'm very alarmed. Like, I have dogs and rescue dogs and shit. So it's like all my news is like dog rescue things. And I'm like, am I not getting news because you guys are just marketing me things that I already know about and like?
Yeah.
How am I going to stumble upon new bands? How am I going to find out about this shit?
Yeah. I mean, I also feel like it's important for people to go out and experience music more, because that's where the fire really gets lit. When you go, like a lot of festivals that have really crazy diverse lineups are super fun.
Yeah.
European festivals or something like Bonnaroo might be the same thing.
Duncan Trussell with Dean Delray.
Machete, and they're doing this movie called Hell Ride.
Right.
And it's Larry Bishop, Michael Madsen, Dennis Hopper, Quentin Tarantino producing. Tarantino was supposed to act in it, but he backed out in the last minute. But anyway, they said, could you help us out? And I said, sure. So I'm kind of advising them on what motorcycles to use, what clothing, that kind of stuff. And then they asked me to audition for a role in the film, and I get the role.
Is this the first audition you've had, or did you try acting before that?
I've never. I was in the Doors movie real young as kind of a side musician.
Wow.
And I got cut out. I was so bummed, but I didn't act or anything. I just had one line. This is back in the day, and they dressed me like Paul Williams. Remember that guy?
Yes.
Yeah. I had a white leather outfit on with fringe. And
that's fucking cool.
I tell you what, that was pretty wild, man, because they shot that film at the Olympic Auditorium, and I was in the scene where he takes his dick out, and that's the famous Florida scene.
Yes.
And so I remember the producer saying, Val's gonna come in and you gotta call him Jim.
Wow.
And we're like, how hokey. You know what I mean? We're laughing. Because the reason I got the part was I was a band and they wanted band-looking guys.
Right,
I had
sure.
long hair and shit.
Sure.
And we're like, hey, that's so dumb. And we're in this kind of green room, supposed to be a backstage. And Val comes in and we're like, whoa. We couldn't even believe it, dude. He comes in, he's got a bottle of Jack. He's like, all right, yeah, hey, man, what's going on out there? And we're like, what the fuck? We couldn't believe it, actually. I mean, that's how hardcore he looked like.
Acting's fucking weird, man.
It really is.
People drive themselves insane. Like people, you heard Daniel Day-Lewis is like dropping out. They say he's doing one more movie and then that's it for him. Like, because I don't think they can. I think they put themselves into like a pretty experientially painful place, and then when it's done, you don't just get better from that. Like when you've been acting like someone you're not for fucking a year or whatever, hanging out with people, you start shattering yourself inside a little bit or something. But who fucking cares about Val Kilmer? So you're in the Doors movie, but then you audition
30 years later.
For Quentin Tarantino's
Hellride.
And you get the part.
I get the part. I play a role of a guy named Ape Shit. And one of the greatest days of my life is the first day on the set because I absolutely worship Dennis Hopper.
Yeah,
I think there's no better guy ever to hit the screen than Dennis Hopper.
What's your favorite Dennis Hopper movie?
Apocalypse Now.
No doubt. That's the one.
100%.
That was the most incredible.
100%.
And that I will just go back and watch Dennis Hopper interact with Marlon Brando just to like cleanse the palate sometimes. I haven't done it in a while, but
I got goosebumps, man. Look at that, dude. It is some of the finest filmmaking of all time. And to make that film, when you think about it, to be in a jungle that you thought you were going to be there like 6 weeks and it turns into like 2 years because of the storms that wrecked the sets and the Brando just throwing away the script and making up his own stuff and Hopper being blackballed from Hollywood and Coppola taking him in and letting him do the film and the whole thing, man, it's a war saga. Are people going to watch it all the way through, And so I get to the set the first day, and there's a photo I'll show you. It's in my Instagram. I see Hopper walking solo, and I'm like, it takes all of me not to just ask 1,000 questions.
Yeah, sure.
Apocalypse Now. He's the only guy that's worked with Brando, James Dean, and John Wayne.
Yeah.
Okay? He also directed the most iconic biker film. He also directed Colors, which was the first hip-hop gangster movie.
He directed that?
Yeah. Okay?
No shit.
Yeah. He also did the most iconic David Lynch film, Blue Velvet. He's the guy did everything. He is like the epitome of the ultimate actor.
When Colors came out, as a side note, my mom was dating a cop in North Carolina.
Wow.
And I think he took us to see Colors, or like he played. I remember he like played the song for my mom. It was really uncomfortable.
Colors.
I am a nightmare walking, psychopath stalking, king of my jungle, just a gangster. So I remember like living life like a firecracker, quick as a fuse.
Oh my God.
But I remember sitting in the car and he played that for us, this cop, a North Carolina cop. And the look on his face was of such sadness and dismay and fear.
Yeah.
As though that song were the indication that we were like teetering on the precipice of a race war. Like he really thought like, that's it, man. Because when Colors came out, that was right around, I don't know where it landed with like NWA or when, but that was right around.
In the hip hop ground zero of that gangster hip hop, not the early New York, Rapper's Delight and stuff. None of that cool kid. This is like the ground zero. And if you look at it, it's the ground zero of crack. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's really when crack starts hitting like Oakland and Venice, that part of Venice.
That's when the
there.
CIA starts flooding everything with crack, apparently.
Right, yeah. Well, that's what Snowfall is supposed to be all about,
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to see what that's all about.
Yeah. Now they're saying that the CIA is flooding fentanyl everywhere. Like
I just saw that,
Yeah, it's so fucking weird, man, that we've got some dark, nefarious group of people who apparently like to like bring like drugs into the country to poison itself. I don't get that. That's a really bizarre thing. I guess it kind of makes sense though, because like drugs make a lot of money for the government. Yeah. But anyway, man, so Dennis Hopper, walking by you, the legend.
It's insane.
And this is like this is a huge moment for you.
Yep.
Because this is like your first like real movie. Like outside
100. But you got to think, man, all the way back to fucking Reservoir Dogs, you know, Pulp Fiction, you know, Kill Bill 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Now I'm working on a Tarantino production.
Yeah.
I mean,
huge.
You're talking about, like, a lot of my buddies always say, dude, you're like Forrest Gump, man. You've lived like 10 lives.
Yes.
You know?
That's what it sounds like, man.
Yeah.
You bounced out of this motorcycle thing. Now you're like, you're on set with your favorite actor of all time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I wait a couple days, and I finally, he and I just sit down in between one of the scenes, and there's no one around. And I was like, apocalypse now, dude. I mean, you know, I know people ask you about that, but it's just unbelievable, you know? And he told me one of the great stories ever. He said that when the set, first of all, he said a lot of people think we were just, you know, taking acid out there and just doing our own thing.
Yeah.
You know, we're in our own world. He's like, yeah, we weren't messing with that. But when the storms blew the sets down, they had a long time to rebuild the sets. He said that they actually set up like early paintball style setups on their guns, and were doing some speed and getting out of their minds and having their own war games.
Wow.
Yeah, crew against, you know, like, because a shitload of crew sitting out there, and they were like having their own war out there.
Wow.
Pretty rad, right?
That is rad.
I know. I never know if they just make stuff up or whatever, but I was like, that's a great story, man.
We weren't doing acid. We were doing speed.
Yeah.
We were doing speed and shooting each other with paint in the middle of the jungle.
Yeah, in the 70s, like rigging up, he's like, it was like a paintball situation, but, you know, way pre-paintball. That didn't come out to like the 80s or whatever, but.
And that's 70s speed.
Yeah.
Did he tell you what kind of speed they were taking?
No, I was probably pill form. You know what I mean? Like what were those back there? Were those like
Dexedrine and
that
shit?
kind of stuff? What were those called? They were like you know, Black Beauties or whatever you took, and you just got all jacked up, you know, and then you get a good delusion going on. I don't know if you've ever stayed up for more than 2-3 days, but you get into another headspace.
That's happened to you?
Oh yeah, I've been there. You know, I've stayed up. I used to like try to stay up and see what would happen with the mind.
You get a good delusion going on.
Oh, you do.
What's an example of this happened to you?
There's some weird stuff when you stay up for a long time where you're kind of just floating through life, like doing stuff like going to the liquor store at 7 a.m. because you're up, you know?
Yeah.
And you're seeing real life go on, people commuting to work, getting coffee, and they're all showered up and ready. And you're just like this transient that's been up 2, 3, 4 days of floating around. Like, you know, you're like a full outlaw in the world of like, you should be 9 to 5. And you really feel people's vibes of like, this guy hates his job, you know, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. You think that you have to stay up for 3 days to achieve that state?
No, but you can really feel it, is what I'm saying. You know, you can feel the, like, you know, like early hippies when they just step to that whole thing of step out, you know.
Tune in, turn on, drop out.
That, you know, but you feel that when you're up for a long time. You're just kind of like, your mind is in a different state.
You're woke, is it?
Yeah.
And you see the ebb and flow of society, the rhythm of society. It's almost like these people have tuned in to some kind of trance beam, and they've been completely drawn into a kind of terrible dance that they think is normal life. You've managed to, like, I guess the beam can't affect your brain anymore because of like the level of drugs you've been doing or lack of sleep or whatever. So now you're not getting hit by this conditioning ray, and you're looking at this insane society that you're supposed to be part of, and you realize, my God, every single person that I'm looking at is fucking miserable.
Totally.
And they're doing what they're doing, not because they want to do it, but because they're in a form of invisible slavery.
Yeah.
And then you become the Lizard King. You're all slaves.
You're all a bunch of slaves.
But it's kind of true.
Yeah, it really is. I think my entire life I've always battled to not be in the 9 to 5 since the day I started. Because my mom, my dad.
Adam Carolla with Jocko Willink.
In U.S. Navy SEAL, first deployed in Baghdad in 2003 and retired in 2010. Good to see you again, Jocko.
What's happening?
I thought of you this morning. I took my freezing cold shower, as I always do, first thing in the morning, just to punish myself a little bit. I am not jumping in the pool anymore because it's too warm. Ambient temperature is a little warm. And I thought you can get so much out of punishing yourself just a little bit. Jocko probably takes it to extremes. I do it just a little bit. But I don't know when we started to run from that. It's not serving us well, and I'm glad you're here to talk about it.
Self-punishment can go a long way sometimes.
I've found that folks need to push themselves.
This music that you just put on is punishing, actually. I didn't even know what that was.
The more you know.
Let's talk about the book. I'm glad you gave a couple to my kids because boy, do they need this book.
Sure, it'll be read right away.
That's a waste of my time.
The first thing I'm amazed about is watching my soon-to-turn 11-year-old son and his 11-year-old buddies all hanging around and playing nice all day long. And I'm like, why have you not wrestled those kids to the ground? That's all we did is get people in headlocks. All we did was one big headlock. If you were standing there and not paying attention, someone came up behind you, got in a headlock, and then tried to throw you on the ground. Absolutely. They don't touch each other.
That's very strange. They should be attacking each other pretty much throughout the day at random times.
I agree, like the Pink Panther. I agree. I mean, didn't you spend your formative years just wrestling with your buddies?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's how you establish the pecking order, right?
Who do you know who the alpha male is?
Yeah.
Who's the alpha silverback?
Exactly.
I never even thought of this, but then we'll get into the book. My number one pastime in high school is I had a friend named Tom.
Okay.
This guy was built like a brick house, and he got like best physique back when they would give out best physique. It was funny. He was black, and he was our only rich friend. His dad was a hand surgeon.
All stereotypes.
Yes. And he thus had a swimming pool. None of us had a swimming pool. He also had a diving board in his big swimming pool that just extended over the pool like 6-7 feet.
And he swam in the pool?
Brian.
How dare you?
I'm just asking for the listeners.
We would spend every summer night, you would stand at the end of the diving board and you'd get in your position. And then him or Ray or my buddy Chris, the other strong guys, would try to throw you off the diving board, and whoever got thrown off got to be in the catbird seat for the next fight.
For the King of the Hill kind of
all
thing.
we did was fight on this diving board. That's all we did. There was nothing else to do, and it was wildly gratifying, and everyone enjoyed it, and everyone was sort of equal in their own way and had their own strengths and weaknesses, and we just go at it. And if anyone won 3 in a row, it was a huge, huge deal. But those days are gone, right, Jocko?
They certainly seem to be disappearing a little bit, although the other day I walked down to the beach where my son was down there. My son's 14. When I walked down there, he was in a full-on brawl with some other kid, friend of his. A friendly fight, but they were smearing sand into each other's ears and pretty much beating the crap out of each other, so right. I was impressed.
I'm trying to think of, yes, Brian.
The harbinger of your story, just back to that on the diving board and all that stuff. Diving boards can't build them anymore, at least here in California.
Yeah.
That's an indicator.
That's so insane that there's no diving board.
Also, not to take a turn for the gay, but I think we were naked, but it couldn't get any straighter than what we were doing. Being naked made it straighter, like sort of Roman days.
Yeah, like sometimes it gets
now,
so
me having
gay,
a
it comes
boner
around again.
obviously crossed into a different territory.
Well, that's your affair.
That's a mitigating
That's me,
factor.
but the rest of the guys, it was Coliseum battling. Yeah, so
sometimes it's so gay it comes around to heterosexuality again.
Very true, like chaps. All right, so the book. Let's talk about the book, and thank you for signing it to my son. I appreciate it. Let's talk about what's in the book and why my son needs to read this book.
So, a book is about a kid. He's in 5th grade, and he's got some issues going on. He can't do any pull-ups, so he's getting called out for not being able to do any pull-ups. He doesn't know his times tables, which sucks when you're in 5th grade because you're supposed to know your times tables. He doesn't know how to swim, and he's getting picked on by Kenny Williamson, the school bully. And so it's the book starts out last day of school, and all those things kind of collapse down on him at the same time. And he's really bummed out, goes behind the library, he's crying, he goes home. And when he gets home, he remembers, his mom reminds him that his uncle is coming to stay with him for the summer. His uncle was in the SEAL teams and is now getting out of the SEAL teams, and he's going to go to college. But for the summer, he's going to stay with his sister and with his nephew. So that's Uncle Jake. And so they start talking and hanging out. And Uncle Jake says, what are you going to do tomorrow? You going to go for a swim? You want to go play some basketball? What do you want to do? And the kid, whose name is Mark, says, well, actually, I can't swim and I can't play sports and I'm not good at anything. I can't do any pull-ups. So he breaks down, starts crying. And his Uncle Jake says, wait a second. So you don't know your times tables. You don't know how to swim. You can't do any pull-ups and you're getting picked on. Those are your issues. He says, yeah, it's horrible. He says, it's not horrible. We can fix all those things. And so they spend the summer training, working out, learning how to fight, learning how to studying the times tables, and learning how to swim. And that's what the story is about.
Awesome.
Was the book your idea?
The book was my idea, yes.
And I'm guessing not to just make a couple of bucks or sell a few units, but to fill some sort of void that we're heading toward as a society, which I've been complaining about for a long time now.
Well, absolutely. With my first book that came out was called Extreme Ownership, and it was a book about leadership. And that book was focused, obviously, for adults. And a lot of people along the way were saying, it'd be really good if we had these kind of lessons for kids. And that what kind of got me started on it. Another thing that got me started on was that I had 4 kids of my own. I have 3 girls and 1 boy. And I was out trying to get a book for my son, and this was years ago, just trying to get a good book for my son, for him to read about, boy things. And so I got him this pirate book, right?
Right.
Pick pirates on the cover, and I'm thinking, cool, pirates are going to go out, break things, destroy ships, take over countries, whatever, just get after it. And of course, I open the book and I start reading it to him, and these are the most pathetic, embarrassing pirates you've ever seen that are talking about sharing and how we want to be equal. And I just shut the book. I burned it.
Aboard! Everyone, get on the Rainbow Warrior now. There's a Japanese whaler. Let's head it off.
Exactly.
Socialist pirates.
All these books that are telling kids, that, well, you don't want to be strong and you don't want to work hard and you don't want to push your personal ability any further. You just want to sit back and allow, the collective to take care of you. And so that was another thing that made me write the book.
Well, I have this notion now, and I'll apply it to males, which is, so we have this thing that we always talk about, this like shrinking middle class. We have the very poor people, and then we have the very rich people, and this chasm seems to be growing larger. I don't know if it's a talking point, if it's actually happening, but I'm just assuming it does feel like we're creating like 2 separate Americas, rich America and poor America. And I'm now thinking about this in terms of dudes. I think we're going to have super studs that never stop training in the octagon, and then super pussy man purse. You've invaded my personal space. I felt, I got my coexist bumper sticker on my Prius. We're just going to have a class of super puss and super dude. I feel
what
like.
What are you talking about?
Yes, sorry, Sonny. Get in the Prius, put the sticker on the bumper, and make your way to your Primal Scream Therapy encounter group. I think the powers that be are going to create more. This is my thought about why MMA is the fastest growing sport, because we need this outlet because we're sitting in air conditioning on our ergonomically sculpted chairs. I think there's going to be a group of extreme dudes that are out just doing all those Tough Mudder things and all the octagon and MMA stuff and training super ultra hard and jumping off an iceberg into freezing water, and then just the super panic pussy dudes. And I think the middle class, which was like, hey, a dude could pull the spark plugs out of his Chevy and put some new plugs in. He wasn't going to rebuild the transmission, but if it broke down, he could pull off the side of the road and check a few things. He wasn't a prize fighter, but he could handle himself if somebody was hitting on his old lady or whatever it was. Like there was a sort of, he could change a spare on his car. He could drive a stick, He wasn't a master mechanic or a journeyman carpenter, but he knew how to get the sticky window unstuck in the house. Like there was a sort of
There
ground.
was a minimum standard for being a man.
Those are out the window now, and I feel like all we're going to have is super puss and extreme dude.
You know, though, in my
Good
opinion,
superhero group. Man.
Yes.
I think that the extreme group is going to grow because I think it's very instinctual for boys to be drawn towards this, and I think you actually have to work to pull them away from fighting, right? Like you said, when we were kids, you just scrapped. That was just the way it was. Yeah. Oh, you want a piece of my candy? You can't have it. Okay, we're going to fight. You know, that's it. Oh, you want to borrow my pen? You can't have it. Now we're going to fight. That's very instinctual for boys, and I think we've been trying to pull them away from it. And I think if we open up that door a little bit, boys will be boys.
Well, we decided, and I've talked to Dr. Drew about this for a million years, we decided that basically there was the sort of feminine route and there was the masculine route, and that the feminine route was the route to progress. So masculine was
more evolved.
Yeah, caveman, hair pulling, fighting, settling stuff with our fists. That was us. That was 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And now the evolved move is this way.
You can talk out your problems as opposed to fighting about it.
Yeah, or anything. Just there's a sort of feminine route and a masculine route, and we were going to do the Massengale route versus the brute route. Ooh, I like that. Write that down by Fabergé. So we decided, it's more evolved. This is more evolved. And yeah, at a certain point, it was like, hey, guys shouldn't be having fist fights on the property at the open house at the school because the one dad's giving the other dad the stink eye. Like, I get it. And if you want to have sex with a woman, you're not allowed to get her in a headlock and drag her into a cave. You have to give her roofies, like Bill Cosby.
Yeah. There's a process.
We're evolving, is what I'm saying. No, they were right to a point.
Joe Coy with Iliza Shlesinger.
Elite. Terms and conditions apply.
Crashed on a motorcycle when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. Chicks love this story.
Yeah, man. My bone popped out of my thigh.
Yeah. What kind of What kind of motorcycle?
Oh, it was a dirt bike.
Oh,
yeah, I was going fast.
Size 50.
Hit head on.
It's the most white trash way to get an injury.
50 cc, man. 0 to 60 in 5 minutes.
Dirt bike.
No one knows that it was a mini bike.
Change it.
Yeah, change it.
Change it. You're a jerk.
Change it to like a hog.
I was on a Harley. I was going in between cars.
Yeah.
On the 405.
Oh yeah, doing what's a trick called? Yeah.
I was doing a front wheelie.
On a hog?
On a hog.
At Sturgis.
Sturgis.
I've never even seen anyone do that.
Yeah, I was at Sturgis.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
It's that big bike rally in
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
What's in North Dakota? Why would anyone go to North Dakota?
To have a white pride rally on a motorcycle.
What's your favorite place to go to when you travel?
When
you tour, actually.
Sturgis. I love leather. I feel like my places are probably the same as yours. Like there are certain cities that are just great for stand up. New York, Denver, Seattle, Portland.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yep.
Right? No one's going to be like, I love Peoria.
I love Nashville, too.
Nashville's great.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of some parts of Florida. Mm-hmm. And by some parts, I mean
I will say most parts. You can say it. Is it West Palm? You can say it. Are you scared to say it?
Yeah.
You just don't like feeling like you're cooking.
Yep, that's what it was.
No, it feels like the inside.
I've always thought you and I had a connection, and just now you put it into words. No, I just, you want to play to the back of the room, and you want your jokes, the layered jokes. You want there to be something for everyone.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll get an audience where it's just like, how many times can I say the F word to make you guys laugh?
Yeah.
And that doesn't help me grow. So I like a smarter audience, like a happy audience. I don't know. Those improvs are massive, too. Tempe's pretty great.
Yeah, Tempe's great.
All 35 clubs they have there.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. And they're massive.
Massive.
Like 450 seats.
Even the improv. Joel's Improv.
Improv.
It's a small theater.
Well, Stand Up Live is that's Joel's as well.
Right, because they needed like one notch above. It's got like 6 more seats.
Yeah, and then we're going to stick some kegs in here.
Oh, I haven't been.
You haven't been to Copper Blues?
Yeah, attached to the Improv.
Yeah, it's just like, no, that's not the Improv. That's a Stand Up Live.
Copper Blues is the restaurant next to the Improv.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Because you know what they have? Steak tips. Steak tips. They get steak tips. Hard to get steak on the road for free. Steak tips. They give you steak tips.
So there's just the ends of steaks, and they make a nice entree out of that?
Just little bits of steak.
Dude, aren't you sick of road food? Isn't it getting to you? It's to the point where I can't even eat it anymore.
But you probably, I try to find, my only thing in my rider says Red Bull and fruit. And like I was in Kansas City recently and like that was hard for them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we found ribs. And I was like, well, it could be the fruit of the pig.
The fruit of the pig.
How about some gravy? I'm like, you go get me a fucking apple and you cut this up.
Hey, Eliza, we read your writer. It said fruit, and we replaced that with ribs.
We went and put fruit in quotes. Yeah. And I'll eat that happily. I believe in eating the cuisine of the place.
Yeah.
But then you go somewhere like Rochester, and they're like, it's called a garbage plate. And you're like, I don't want that. Yeah. Or Cincinnati's like, we put weird shit on our spaghetti. And you're like, yeah. What's wrong with you people?
Yeah.
So people are going to hate that I said that. You try to eat the local stuff, and you try to have fruit between shows, and you try to be a good person.
Yeah. How long have you been on the road consistently?
I have been touring. This is too fatty for you, Blanche. Semi-consistently since 2009. And I just got done with a big tour to get ready for the Netflix special. And I actually kind of took the summer off. As you know, summer is like a little bit slower because people are outside a lot more. So I've spent the last 2 months pretty much at home.
Good.
And
you deserved it.
I made a meal in my new house for the first time. I did my nails yesterday.
Good for you.
It was great. This morning, I was on my Snapchat. And Angela Johnson, I follow her on Snapchat, and she had this video. She was in a bathrobe, and she was like, hey, Snapchat, I'm home. It's like, today's Tuesday. She's like, I just got home from, like, Ohio. She's like, I'm going to make this coffee that I bought in Ohio. And I've never related to a human more than I did watching her Snapchat. Like that feeling when you wake up in your bed from the road. And it's like your first morning home. And you're like, I could be a human. I could have brunch with a friend.
Yeah.
But you don't.
This was my first summer in, like, I'd have to say 10 years.
Isn't it nice?
I loved every single minute of it.
You're going on trips. You're driving to the beach.
Now, mind you, every week I'm going, that's a lot of money I just lost. I can't buy that.
Yeah, but no one.
But I don't care, man.
No, you need a break.
And my son, he just turned 13, and I wanted to spend this summer with him, and we did everything, man.
Yeah.
And it just felt so good, and now I'm fiending to get back on the road now.
But that's what it's good for, because rather than being burnt out, you're pumped to go do it. And you know you work too much. First of all, I don't think you can work too much. I get sick a lot. But you know you work too much when you tell your friends, like, oh, I'm just staying home this week. And they're like, good.
Yeah.
Like, people that really don't care about you are like, you need it.
Yeah. No, that's true. I get that a lot, too. My sister
sure.
says that. My sister's like, yo, you need to stay home. Just 1 week.
I mean, what do you do, like 8 shows in a weekend?
I'll do some weekends. I'll do like 10.
Like, he's not even exaggerating.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're a fan of Joe, you're listening to the podcast right now. But I'll go somewhere and I'll see your name coming in like a couple weeks, and it's already sold out. And I'm like, I'm doing radio at 3 a.m. trying to get people like, who is she? I've never heard of her. And you're
stupid.
Like, as I told you, like every Pacific Islander from like 80,000 miles is like, we're going to see Joe Coy. We're making the pilgrimage, the Hajj, to go and see him. Are you of Pacific Rim? I don't even know.
Are you of Pacific Rim?
Rimmer. That area.
Godzilla
You're not Laotian
comes
at all.
to my show.
Yeah. And especially like Middle
You're
America.
ridiculous. You're totally alienating my other fans, Eliza. That's not even nice.
Okay,
I have other fans.
I'm just saying, it's amazing the amount of people that come.
I love you.
I want some of that Asian money.
It's good money. Hey, that's good credit.
Some of those Asian people.
Hey, when you go on the road, do you take somebody with you or no?
Yeah.
You do? Who is it?
I take different people.
Oh, you do? But you always travel with somebody, right?
No, not really. For the longest time, I just went. And actually, this is a good...
And let like a local go up or something?
Yeah, and what was cool was... And this is like a big piece of advice I'm going to give to any comics listening. Nothing will benefit you more than being cool to your visiting headliner.
Yeah.
Because that's the person that's going to take you somewhere. That's the person that will put you in their show if they get one. I've definitely had guys that were just like wanted nothing to do with me. I'm like, that's cool. We could just never work together.
Yeah.
But I've had the benefit of collecting these like trusted guys who I like them as people, so I want to work with them.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's great too, because I don't have to fly them. When I go to New York, I've got like my buddy James lives there, my friend Kate, and they can just take the train versus me like flying them.
Somebody out.
So it's good to have people in different corners. Rants.
I fly Lance
do you know
out.
Hunter Hill? He runs the Lyric.
Yeah.
He comes with me a lot.
Oh, nice.
I bring him. He's pretty great.
Okay.
Stuart Thompson from the Comedy Store. I brought him a couple times.
Nice.
A lot of people like that.
I was getting depressed like the first, when I first started going on the road, it was to the point where I was like in my room and I felt like I was a prisoner.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, man. And literally looking at the clock slowly tick down.
For your cab ride to the airport?
Yeah. Oh, no, my cab ride to the show.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was my only time I could actually interact with anybody. And it was just like, I was
spent all day alone.
Yeah,
man.
man.
All day alone.
Horrible. And then you go out
to
eat and then come back and you're like, well, that was only 40 minutes?
Yeah. I'm sleeping the whole. People are like, "How do you stay in shape on the road?" I'm like, I sleep the entire time. I wake up at 5 p.m. because I watch all the American Greeds the night before.
That's great.
It has to be a city like Seattle, like a cool city where you want to go out, or if you have friends. But yeah, people don't realize. A lot of times I bring a friend so I have someone to go get coffee with, or just someone to hang out with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lance is great.
Yeah,
I take Lance on the road.
He seems great.
He rarely wants to put me on stage. He just wants me to go
just
to
talk
coffee
to me,
with him.
man. Just
go to
talk
shoe
to me.
stores.
Then I
Just
reward
someone to
him.
go with you.
I reward him with stage
time.
Yeah.
We know this. We
And
know
every
this is what
time I
people
go
want
on,
from us.
every time I go on, I hear him go, "Oh,
God, here he goes.
Here he goes again."
I'm a big. I have a problem with giving out
Did
sex.
you just burp and blow it?
Would you prefer me?
No, I just.
Ari Shaffir with Andrew Santino.
That's like 3 months. So you just get a few of those dudes and you're in business.
Right, and then they're good to go. And then if they can sucker one of them into like taking them back with them, that's the golden nugget for everyone to come over, man.
And by the way, right, you're right. They don't have to get married. They just have to get here. It's kind of like you're saying, like, fly me out to South Africa for a convention. As soon as you get there, you're like, oh, by the way, I'm not doing your fucking convention. I'm already here.
dude, can I? This is so mean, but well, not mean. It's just factual. They offered me to go do. This is I don't know how many years ago. How many years ago was the Cabo thing?
Oh, I did the Cabo Festival. Did you not go?
Well, dude, hold on. Hey, do you hear me?
Bitch, you can't do that to your fucking husband.
How many years ago was Cabo? 5, 6? Yeah. So listen, they offered me to go. It was a while ago, but like I was like, I don't want to go. I don't know. I don't want to go. And then they were like, yeah, bring your lady. We'll do everything that you need. And I was like, do you want to go to Cabo and go on like a fucking vacation? I don't really want to do stand up at this festival. And I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think so, but I'd never done it. And I was like, let's just get a free trip to Cabo. Let's do it, and we'll figure it out. Dude, I get down there. I was so disorganized. I felt so bad. I'm not talking shit, but it was so bad. Nobody told us where any of the things were or where to go that we literally checked into the hotel and partied for like 3 days. I didn't do one show.
Oh, did they ever, really?
Nothing. Dude, nothing. I went to like one orientation thing. I remember because I ran into Ada Rodriguez, and she was like, what's up? I didn't even know you were doing this. I was like, I guess I didn't know either.
There's no poster. There's no anything at a regular festival.
There was a few things about it at a few bars, but no pictures. They didn't say any names. It didn't, like nobody knew. I mean, it's just.
Remember Jeff Dye, the one year I did it. It was Jeff Dye, and he had his shirt off in a bar because Cabo is like fucking Cabo Wabo. It's not Mexico. It's Cabo.
Right. It's
and
Cabo.
he just has his shirt off. Just go. We're fucking comics. We can do whatever the fuck we want. So he was just like being free for the first time. But the shows were so bad. We did a show, and Kevin Meaney, dead now, was crying. Literally crying at how the show was. It was like 6 or 8 fucking drunk white dudes.
What did you expect? What did you like? Going into it's like that. I knew what I was getting into. I knew it was
trying to be like, Kevin, this awful show is our payment for the free trip.
100%. You just pay. For me though, I went to one of the venues, and one of the girls that was organizing it, I'll never forget. She was like, "Hey, do you want to go up?" And I was like, "Not really. Like I not really."
Like you're just stopping into the store. Like
seriously, because it was too many. It was like there's too many comics that had shown up to hang out. Do you know what I mean? That I was like, oh, they'll just put up one of the. You know what I mean? Like it's not. No one in the audience knew what was going on. They were sabotaged by the show. Nobody knew that there was going to be the show.
Yeah.
Sabotage comedy. It was just like hands up, start to laugh, and everyone's like, I want to hang out.
I feel bad for those people at the bars because you're like, I'm not bothered. I'm not heckling the show. You're heckling my bar night.
Right.
I'm just trying to have a good time with my friend. Put the music back on. None of us want you here.
Yeah, that's our fault completely, and that's why I was in the balcony and I was like, I'm probably just gonna take off. And she was nice. She was just like, yeah, I get it. It's too chaotic. Like no one knew what was going on. No one was slotted to host.
That's great. No one was slotted to host.
No one was slotted to host. So then of course people are fighting. They're like, I don't want to host. I don't want to host. I don't want to host. And I was like, I'm going home. I was like, I'm going back to the hotel. We just went out. We were like, let's just go and get a drink and hang out somewhere. So we went to Cabo for 3 days and hung out, and I didn't do one show.
I remember one time I did that. That's fucking glorious. Well, this actually pales, but it was just a bar show in like Pasadena, and Ingram was there, and we got our free food. And then it was just so bad. And I saw him performing to like not even in the light. It was just like this dim red light. No one was listening. And then he got off. No. Somebody went on. It was shitty. And then he went on. I was like, hey, man, I might not be here when you get off. And he's like, but you're going after me. I'm like, I'm going to see your first 2 minutes. If you're not doing well, there's no reason for me to stay. And he's like, but you ate there me. I'm like, I'll let them figure it out. And it was just like they'll never have your back, and I'm like, I don't want to be back.
Yeah, this is my last time here. This was going to be my last time here when I showed up. I've done. I did so many of those, dude. When I dig into the brain of shows where I would go in and just be so heartbroken that I like traveled all that way. Like when I would drive far for shows, I'm like, oh my God, I drove here. I did this whole thing. And even still, it was so bad that even then I was like, I'm just going to go home. Like I still don't want to do it. It was that bad that you're like, what am I going to get out of this? I'm going to be sad. I'll have a drink.
I'm going to be sad. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to be sad. I'll have a drink and then I'll have to wait, drive home. And it'll just be a whole thing. And then, it's like, those days are probably great for us mentally, but also I'm so happy that I don't ever like have to show up to a thing that I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, it's just like, no, fuck, no.
And that was my thing is I'd have a drink and then I'd have another drink and then I'd be like, fuck, I'm on like 3 drinks. I can't I have to drive 45 minutes. I'm in Santa Ana or what, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, those bar shows, the Felipe and Gabriel shows.
Dude. And I drive
$75. $75. And you're like, dude, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Way.
It's $30 in gas. The DUI is $2,000. And then it's like I had to doing the shit math of driving 50 minutes inland to do a show. But you know what was crazy though? Some of the shows when they were good, the audiences were fucking unbelievable. Some of those, that's why you gambled. Because sometimes those random shows in those random areas, the audience was so fucking happy that you were there. You were like, holy shit, this is a great room.
Yeah, no, sometimes they were actually good. Like it was the night of the week and it was like, oh, this is the part. It was like Dublin's just Santa Ana version.
Right. Dublin's fucking Dublinos. This is Dublinos.
That is one of the best things about stand-up is the free drink. I never realized how important it was until you get there and you're like, yes, I will avail myself of this.
Yes, I need this. This is what I have to have. It also made me feel like I was that you're like a pro for some reason. Like, as you always hear about like growing up listening to stand-up, guys would joke about getting a free meal and drinks. And so to me, it was like, you're not like a real professional comic until they like give you a meal or drinks. You know what I mean? Because before that, it's not even drink tickets. You're just like, you do the show and leave. You do the show and go home. Yeah, they're like, you're not getting a fucking drink. Or if it was embarrassing, you'd go to a bar and go, hey, I'm one of the comics. And they're like, yeah, no, there's no tab for comics.
You're like,
Oh, well, I don't have any money.
I love at what was it? It was Laughs Boston. I remember them having a problem with other people drinking too much and like, here's your drink tickets. And I'm like, guys, no, I'm I might not drink at all, but I might drink a shitload. And either way, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah,
drink tickets. This is not an open mic. And I think they stopped that policy pretty fast. But it's like, maybe on a fucking.
There's nothing more embarrassing than like handing them a piece of paper to the bartender, like a little piece of paper, like a child at like a fucking carnival. Like
be like, are you aware of this? This process? They said, do you know? Please tell me you know about this ticket.
Have they told you about this little thing that I'm giving you? Is it, and they do. They always look at it and they go, "Oh, you okay? What do you want?" Like they're like, "You didn't have to give it to me. Just tell me what you want." You know what I mean? They're more annoyed that they have to now put it somewhere. Yeah,
there's some paperwork on top of it.
Yeah.
They slide it with $1. So like, I'm not going to stiff you. Just give me a beer.
Dude, we talked about that the other day. Me and Bobby were talking about tipping, appropriate tips. What? Because it's
now you go to bars.
No. Appropriate tipping for restaurants, anything for like takeout. That was where it started because I was talking about
takeout. That's a tough one.
Takeout, dude.
Because all you're doing is grabbing. There's no service. There's none.
No, I know. But that's the problem. It's during COVID. Now that it's like, oh, you couldn't go into the place. So those people's jobs or their hours are cut. Their tips are cut. It's like, dude, should I tip a little more to help out the thing? So naturally, I just did because I was like, I bet you these people are having fucking no. It was mom and pop stuff. Most of the things in my neighborhood are like coffee shop or the sandwich place. It's like, I don't know. They own it. The servers aren't making any money. Now the server's a host.
Yeah, now. We're talking about always, though. Or sometimes you'll be like, hey, can I get a Gatorade? Or something like that from the counter. They turn around and get you one. There's a tip jar in there. And you're like, what? This is just, you're 7-Eleven. You don't get a tip. It's like a glorified version of that.
Yeah, no, when COVID's over for to-go, I feel like you can go back to regular shit. You can go back to, I always throw a couple bucks anyway. But during this whole bullshit, because I had to do nothing but takeout, I tipped more. No,
and you're in a position of danger a little bit. You're coming in contact with. It's like you're actually doing something, being open and getting breathed on.
Yeah, but now it's back. We're here in the neighborhood. I went to three different places to do pickup. Oh, and there's outdoor. Everyone's doing outdoor seating now, and there's limited bar seating now. I saw 2 dudes drinking at a bar. Inside, dude, and it made me feel there's there's like an X of tape separating like 2 seats or whatever. So there was just a dude, and then a girl at the other end having a drink. They were all talking, and it was like apocalypto shit where you're like seeing into the past, where you're like, whoa, we used to do that. It was like this creepy, like bringing back memories. It's like we could just go and order a drink.
It's so crazy. It's 2 months, and it was like, what the fuck is this life? It's crazy.
Yeah, we freaked out for 2.5 months. We had like full panic attack. They shut down the toilet paper industry. They made them. It's insane how.
I never got that.
No,
I was like,
me neither.
People aren't shitting more than they were. So
no, same shit. Now here's what it is. People are shitting at their house more. That's all it is.
Yeah, but.
No, because you're shitting. Most people, if you're working 9 to 5s, you're pooping at work every day.
Okay. But the work has to still buy toilet paper.
They got industrial size stuff.
They do got. No, you're right. They do got the massive.
They got the massive
big,
ones.
Yeah.
So the most of the stuff that you and I buy that we have at home, that's not selling out because you're shitting mostly on the go. I mean,
I immediately switched to shit shower, which I've been wanting to do anyway.
Yeah.
Save the environment.
I usually do. That's pretty regular for me. I should shower unless it's an unexpected. There's always a midday or a late evening, and I don't have a choice. But also, usually it lines up pretty well because I run. After I run, I got to shit, and it's perfect timing.
Whoa!
My body has worked out this weird thing that like it started to learn my schedule of when I run in the evening. So I'll eat, wait, run, and then have to shit, and then take another night shower. It's great, and then good for bed.
There's no better life than that.
I know, dude. It feels good. Do you sleep naked or you put clothes on your body?
If I shower, sleeping naked.
Same.
There's no reason to put stuff on when you already have it off. You're going to get dressed in the morning.
That's exactly how I feel. Although, truth be told, I almost always sleep naked because if I had a long day and I felt sweaty or gross, I'm going to shower. I'm showering again. I know it's probably bad, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm showering again. I want it.
I go morning shower. I go sleep in the bed, make it disgusting with my filth, and then in the morning I shower. Yeah.
How does your lady feel? Does she care about that?
Every girlfriend I've ever had hates it.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
But I buy dinner. So you keep complaining, but
and that's why you make 82 cents to my dollar, bro.
Thank you, folks, for listening. Tune in next week for more podcasts of all podcasts.
Please donate if you can. Enjoy. Flogging Mollies, Rebels of the Sacred Heart. Love y'all.
Now I'm aiming for heaven, but probably wind up down in hell, where upon this altar I will hang my guilt-ridden head. But it's time I'll take before I begin. 3 sheets to the wind, 3 sheets to the wind. Yeah, it's time I'll take before I begin. 3 sheets to the wind, 3 sheets to the wind. Rebels away, though heavy our hearts shall always be. No ball or chain, no prison shall keep. We're the rebels of the Sacred Heart. I said no ball or chain, no prison shall keep. We're the rebels of the Sacred Heart. Terrified of the open road, yeah, where it leads, you never know. But rest assured, he'll be on your back. Yeah, the Holy Ghost crews thumbs in black. As the band of bells and the young girl cries, the Blessed Virgin in the proud dance eye. The albatross hanging round your neck is the cross you bear for your sins he bleeds. Rebels away, don't let me hurt slow as me. And a ball or chain, no prison shall keep. We're the rebels of the Sacred Heart. I said no ball or chain, no prison shall keep. We're the rebels of the Sacred Heart. Genuflect all you refugees. hands, fled the land, now on guilt you kneel and say a prayer for those left behind from beyond the pale to the northern sky. So you saved your shillings and your last sixpence, cause in God's name they built a barbed wire fence. Be glad you sailed for a better day, but don't forget there'll be hell to pay. Rebels away, don't hit me, your heart shall always be. And a ball or chain, no prison chucking, we're the rebels of Sacred Heart. I said no ball or chain, no prison chucking, we're the rebels of the Sacred Heart. Yeah. Resurrection, no protection, all things life must be. No ball or chain, no prison chucking, we're the rebels of the Sacred Heart. Now bless me, Father, for I have sinned. But it's the same old story again and again and again. Well, such is the bread of an everyday life, from morning to noon to the shadowless night. Well, such is the bread of an everyday life, from morning to noon to the shadowless night. Rebels are we, though heavy our hearts shall always be. No ball or chain, no prison shall keep, we're the rebels of the Sacred Heart. I said no ball or chain, no prison shall keep, we're the rebels of the Sacred Heart.